Okay, and now, if you did not watch my reading from files video, go watch it right now, because I'm about to be using that in our text-based game. And this is a text-based game tutorial, and I'll put it in the right section so that you understand that, but yeah. So the first thing I wanted to say is I figured out our problem with this, why backspace or enter was not going to work, and that is because they have no character value, and key typed only deals with character values. So I'm gonna get back to that later though. My idea for how we're gonna do our text-based game is how we're gonna have our entire storyline planned out and everything is we're going to have it in here. So we're gonna have one input file, maybe a couple more. Yeah, we should have more than one. We're gonna have more than one file. We're gonna have different files for different possibilities. But how it's gonna work, this is just gonna be the basics of it. Let's actually fix this. So we're gonna go to key pressed. So because this registers all the keys. So if e dot get key character is not equal to null, then it's going to return. Let's add a cast to that character. That works. Okay. So otherwise, I think this should work. So we're gonna cut out backspace for now, but we're going to have enter. So if e.get key code equals key event dot vk underscore enter, then we're going to our display and we're going to say set waiting for input false. So EIS.set waiting for input false. So let's run this and see if it actually works. So before, I didn't run the right thing. I want to run display. So before we could type, and it would appear, backspace would do nothing, and I just pressed enter. And I have an error from this. Should be here. Okay. Obviously, this did not work. So let's go back to our input. And we no longer need this. I guess we should get rid of this check because I think it must have done something. And let's run that again. Yeah, and I can no longer type now. I am typing and nothing is showing up because I pressed enter, and the game is assuming that that's the end of what I was gonna type. So that's gonna work for now. We're not gonna have a backspace. I'll add one later, but that's not too important to me right now. Instead, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna not be creating our own language, but we're gonna have to. It's kind of like creating your own programming language, but you have to run it through our Java program, and it's not gonna be very detailed. But basically, inside of our input.text, we're going to need different variables. So we're going to have to be able to declare variables in it. Because, like health. And I don't want to do this all in here. I want this to be in a text file. This may not be possible. We might find that out in the end. that we're gonna have to code more of the game in here than I would like, but I think I can manage. So first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to get rid of our square. If you liked our blue square, our blue rectangle, I'm so sorry, it is going away. The next thing we're gonna do is we're going to, I know how we're gonna do it, never mind. So what I said about declaring variables in here, that was a lie. We're gonna declare all our variables in here, but we have to be able to set them through here. Okay, so we can do this though. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a typing method. So we're going to have two array lists for this. I'm making this all up on the spot. I haven't thought too much about this, and trying to actually work it out is proving a bit harder than I thought it would be. But we're going to have two array lists of stuff to enter. Right. And in our text file, you're just going to have to put enters wherever you want a new line to be. And what I said about using pictures instead of the actual font that Java is going to provide us with, I don't want to do that either because it's just more work. And since we're running this out of a text file, you just have to put enters wherever the lines are supposed to be. And if a line doesn't work, then you just fit an enter in there the right way. Okay, so we're going to have entered input equals new array list string. Then we're going to have an array list of characters. Used input. This is not user input. So I'm going to explain this to you now. Basically, my idea is that, let's actually change this to characters too, so that we can use them one at a time. My idea is that we're going to be drawing our stuff on the screen one letter at a time. So that's going to be a use for our update method, which did I fail to create? It would appear so. So before we do that, we want to do a thing called tick, and then we're going to create that public void tick, and then if entered input dot size equals used input dot size, then we want it to be done for now. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking stuff from our entered input and adding it to our used input, and we're going to be drawing our used input on the screen. And actually, let's see, if I think the size means that it's going to be 30 tall for each of them, so we can just run this again to see kind of what that looks like. And you can see typing appearing. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work actually. I think we can fit, I don't know, maybe 10 lines on there. Okay, so we're actually going to make both of these an array list with an array. an array lists, an array of array lists. So you just put this here. Array list character. You're gonna make them 10 each. New array list character 10. And it's obviously not going to work. Actually, I think we have to change this to list. I know this is possible. Hold on. There. And we need to import list. Do not import java.util. And what is our error down here? I knew there was going to be errors with this. The annoying thing is I'm not sure exactly why. Just erase that. And then let's see if we can add character in here. Or if it's going to throw us an error. Yeah, it's going to throw us an error. Oh well. So each one of these is going to be 10. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a file reader. So new class. I'm probably just going to stop this tutorial in the middle of it somewhere and continue it on later. I'm going to stop it. I don't know when I'm going to stop it because I don't want it to end up too long. But whatever. I'll name this file reader. And then in our constructor for it, reader is going to require a path or string path. I'm going to have private file f private scanner s. And then we have to import both of these. I'm going to say f equals new file path, and s, I'm going to try this. Try s equals new scanner f catch exception. You should know all of this. And I spelled exception wrong. E.print stack trace. Okay. I'm going to do public void read next 10. Next 10. Actually, what this is going to do is going to be public array list 10. And you have to import array list. I wonder why we cannot put character here. That gives us an error. Character there. And look, it doesn't give us an error. Okay, that'll work. So we're going to do list result equals new array list character 10. If this works over here, I'm going to be happy. Apparently not. Oh well. Goodbye character. That's what we're gonna have to live with. We have to import list2, make sure it's the util. Okay. And then we're gonna say int counter equals 0 while s dot has next and counter is less than 10. Result counter equals s dot to equals s dot read or s dot next line dot to character array. And that's not gonna work, is it? To character array. And let's see, how do we do this? Equals, let's try this. Array list counter, or no, not counter, character. Can't cast it either, can we? Okay. And then we're gonna have a second one. I'm gonna call it character temp. We're gonna say temp equals that. That's annoying. Okay. Actually, I think I can cast that. Yeah, we can cast this. Or not. Oh well. Okay. Okay, so this will just be char. And we're gonna make this. Yeah, okay. And then for, let's say for character c temp, so that we can loop through our temp. I'm gonna do result counter dot add c. And then also we want to add a checkup here. Actually no, that has to be declared. Okay, never mind. And now we have to return something. We're gonna return result. There we go. Okay, that'll work. And we might as well have a lick void close file s.close. And we're just gonna do that for, let me close it. Let's make all of this static. Actually, no, we're not gonna make it static. Never mind. Okay, save. And we've created our file reader class. And we're gonna be getting 10 things. I'll explain all of this now. we're going to be getting 10 things out of our input at a time to show up on the screen. And then we're going to be drawing them all to this screen in our display. And this has to be length, apparently. No. I'll get that later. Just leave that true. Okay. So our tick method is going to be useless for now. And basically we're going to be drawing our strings on 10 different lines. So that's why we're getting 10 at a time. Then we're going to set it up so that when the user press enters, it gets the next 10. And we're also going to be throwing things in there to make our game realize when it's supposed to ask a question of the user and then what the answer is supposed to be. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. I know I didn't do much this video. I just mainly set up this file reader and these array lists, played around with it a bit. But it's going to be helpful in the end. So if you have suggestions for what you want me to cover next in my beginner series, leave a comment on that. If you don't understand part of this, leave a comment on that. And thanks for watching.